When they burnt her palace, they were not expecting this queen to kill their general that very night. This is the story of the first female ruler who successfully stood up against the European colonial powers in India for 15 long years before she was betrayed by her own husband. In the 1500s, the Portuguese ran a mafia on water called the Kartas. Buy our permits or we seize the ship and execute the crew. Every Indian port was expected to comply, but one queen refused to do so. The Queen of Ullal, which is a town you can drive across in merely 20 minutes, chose not only to refuse them, but to hunt them. Her name, Rani Abbakka Chowta. It started in 1555. Portugal sends Admiral Dom Álvaro de Silveira to subjugate her to make her submit. She meets him at sea, breaks his fleet, and forces him to retreat. In 1557, the Portuguese sack Mangalore to choke her trade. She counterattacks, retakes the Mangalore fort, and throws them out. But how did a small town like Ullal defeat one of the most powerful navies of the world? Portuguese power relied on its deep water dominance. Their massive carracks, their galleons were floating fortresses, but they had a massive draft. Rani Abbakka's navy was light craft crewed by Mogavira and beery sailors who were born in these waters. She fought where the galleons could not go, Netravati estuaries, sandbars, and shallows. She would lure the Portuguese ships into these shallows where they would get stuck, and their heavy cannons could not tilt low enough to hit her boats. Rani Abbakka is often regarded as the last known person to have used the Agnivana against the Portuguese. As per local legends, Rani Abbakka's sailors would swim or row small boats right under the Portuguese galleons. They would light up a thutte or a bundle of dried coconut leaves soaked in oil and throw it onto the ship. The Portuguese ships were made of timber, they carried gunpowder, and their sails were made of canvas. So one thutte meant a massive fire. These were referred as fire arrows or Agnivana. Wars are always expensive, so Ullal had to find a way around the Portuguese blockade. Through the Zamorins of Calicut, they traded pepper and rice with the Arab merchants. Thus, while Portugal burnt money chasing her, she bankrolled an entire navy with spices. In 1568, Portuguese General Peixoto blitzes Ullal. He takes the palace and declares victory. But the Rani escapes. As per a local legend, she takes refuge in a local mosque. And while the Portuguese men are engaged in looting and drinking, she returns at midnight with 200 men to conduct a surgical strike. And by sunrise, Peixoto was dead, 70 Portuguese were captured, and the rest had to swim to their ships. While this was stuff of legends, this wasn't a legend. Portuguese chroniclers wrote about it in Da Asia, their own records. In 1570, she allies with the Zamorin again. His Mapilla Admiral, Kutti Poker Marker, destroys the Portuguese fort at Mangalore and secures the Rani's fourth major victory. And when Portugal discovered that they could not defeat Abbakka at sea, they decided to rot her from within. Her husband was the king of Mangalore. While she wanted sovereignty, he feared retaliation. The marriage had nearly broken. Portuguese offered the king a deal to provide the secret routes to Ullal, and he readily provided it. Rani Abbakka, who the Portuguese archives record as a troublesome lion-hearted woman, is captured. As per one account, she dies while in prison. As per another account, she escapes, tries to raise another army, and is shot during the process. Abbakka did not stop colonialism, but during her 15 years of reign, she proved that it was not impossible. And if you think others should know the story of Abhay Rani, you know what to do.